Welcome to the Michael Singer podcast, presented by Sounds True, in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information about Michael Singer's work, access to all prior episodes, and information about upcoming releases, we invite you to join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com.
Doctorate, Jam Masters. The great teachings, all of them, from the really deep teachings, teach that the mind is the problem. There's no problem but the mind. It is the cause of all issues, all problems. People hear that very differently. Everybody hears it a different way. Like somebody says, my mind's bothering me, so it's a problem. Somebody else says, I came back from deep meditation and there was no talking going on in there, but it came back. So that's the problem. Somebody else says the mind is complaining. Somebody else says the mind likes what's happening, so it's not a problem. Let's talk about mind. I love talking about mind. First of all, and this is hard for people, what is mind? Truly. That's not your brain. Your brain's a chunk of matter. Your mind is a very high vibration in the universe of creation. There's all kinds of vibrations. When they vibrate very slow, they make dense matter. When they vibrate higher, they make liquids. What? The same atoms, the same matter, the same particles. If they vibrate even faster, they make a gas. Like right now, all this is full of air. It's not empty. It's full of hydrogen and oxygen and nitrogen. But you don't get smacked on the head with it. Why? Because the density of the vibration rates of your atoms and the molecules they put together is way more dense than how the air is bound, how the hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, etc., atoms are bound together. They're so loose that you walk right through them. Water is denser than air, but you can go through water unless it's frozen. And that means that they contracted, they slowed down, the vibration slowed down. It's not a spiritual discussion. This is physics. It's all vibrations. That's all that's happening is vibrations at very different levels. We call the physical plane the vibrations that we can pick up. Well, they didn't used to know there were X-rays. They used to know there's infrared, ultraviolet. They didn't know there's pitches of sound that dogs can hear but humans can't. Do they exist or not? It's just vibrations. It's all vibrations of energy. That's all that's happening. All right? And if it vibrates very quickly, then they're very loose bonds because they can't tie together. They're moving too quickly. If they vibrate very, very slowly, then they bond together. The energy they have is used to bond together instead of be loose and have room to move. That's not a spiritual teaching. That's physics. And the great scientists have discovered and found out not just that atoms or molecules are bonded together at different vibration rates, but the atoms themselves are made of vibrations. Einstein said, matter is energy, energy is matter, and the difference is simply a temporary state of vibration. And quantum physics went all the way down. They worked it all the way down to molecules, atoms, electron, neutron, and protons. But then they found out that no, electron, neutron, and protons, especially neutrons and protons, are made of something more subtle. Subatomic particles, subatomic, right? Well, what are they made of? They're made of things called quarks, leptons, bosons, who cares? But they're made of something that joins together to create a neutron or a proton. They are not a elementary substance. What's the difference? How fast they're vibrating. So they look down deeper. I teach you this all the time. Just you should understand quantum physics only to the level of what have they discovered. You don't want to know the complicated aspects of it, quantum mechanics and all that stuff. Well, what did they find out? And they've got these machines. Machines are a funny thing to call it. These multi-billion-dollar scientific experiments buried underground over in Switzerland and France, miles and miles long. And in order to find out that a neutron and a proton were made of something, they weren't elementary particles, they bombarded them, they aimed them. They aimed protons over miles and miles to gain enough speed to build enough energy so that when they collided, they broke apart. And they found out there's these subatomic particles called quantum particles. But then they went deeper. And they found out that, no, they're not particles. There's a big argument was going on. Is light a particle or is light a wave? Don't try to answer it. They spent a long time trying to figure out whether light is a wave, meaning energy is a wave of energy, or is it a photon, a particle? And they found out that the photons are just waves. There's a vibrations of energy. But as they slow down even a little bit, they form a photon. They form what we call a particle. Quantum physics will tell you there are no particles. They're just wavelets in the quantum field. What does that mean? That's a very, very, very fast vibration level of creation. And then it slows down. And as it works, as it slows, that's all that's happening. As it slows down, it becomes a proton, a neutron, electron, an atom, molecules, ultimately your body and the mountains and everything. They're just that exact vibration slowing down as the energy gets used, as it expresses itself. Do you understand that? Do you understand why is he teaching physics? Because it is the most spiritual thing you will ever learn. Your mind says, do you believe in God? Do you believe that there's nothing vibrations going on down there and that those vibrations slow down on their way up? And that's what you're looking at. They didn't stop being vibrations. Every single level of vibration is still there. I'll go on, don't worry, but I challenge you by saying, I'm holding water in my hand. Now you look at it, see it? It's water. Am I holding water or am I holding H2O molecules? You've done enough physics to understand, well, they are H2O molecules. Yeah, but they appear as water. Why? Because by the time everything vibrates at the same rate and is dense enough, you see it as water. Who sees it? Your eyeballs, which are vibrating at attention. The whole thing is just layers of vibration rates. So am I holding water, H2O molecules, or hydrogen and oxygen atoms? There, now I challenge you. What do I have in my hand? Handful of water, yes. H2O molecules, yes. Don't answer me. Just say yes. Because they're all existing at the same time. And then am I holding the hydrogen and oxygen atoms, or am I holding electrons and protons? Every layer is expressing itself at different levels, but they're all the same. Ice is water, water is ice is steam, steam is ice. Yes or no? It's just the question of the vibration rate. Well, how come cold makes ice? Because cold slows down the vibration rate. How come if you put heat on it, it melts into water or into steam? Because you stepped at the vibration rate. It's all about vibration rates, which is exactly what the great yogis thousands of years ago, before anybody studied this stuff, all right, outside, said it's just vibrations. And they said that the primal vibration was what? Oh, that's the vibration that created creation. What does the Bible say? In the beginning was the Word. What's the Word? A vibration. And the Word was with God. And everything's created out of the vibration. So basically, what we spiritual people who accept both the physics and the science and the spirituality see is that in the beginning, there was nothing. It wasn't vibrating at all. It was like a lake with absolutely no vibration. It's crystal clear. We're going to get to mine in a moment. Ramakrishna, a great enlightened master, once said, the purified mind is no different than the self. Now, there's one for you. Wait till you get to that state, that you see that. Come visit me. What does that mean? The mind is just another level of vibrations that are way more subtle than air or hydrogen or ultraviolet rays or that stuff. What is the electromagnetic spectrum? Different vibration rates. You know that. They measure them. You go to the store to buy a light bulb. They tell you what the vibration rate is. This one's 77,000, whatever it is, hertz. Oh my God, you're so educated that they're telling you the vibration rate. And they also tell you the temperature. This temperature of this bulb is so-and-so. And because color, temperature, vibration rate are all the same thing. They're just the electromagnetic spectrum. It's vibrations. What if I step up the vibration beyond what any instruments you have today, not you personally, but all of science? Is there higher vibrations beyond what they call the edge, the outer edge of the electromagnetic spectrum? Obviously, they have continuously found new ones. They didn't say they're not part of the physical plane. They just expanded the definition of the physical plane. It includes X-rays, ultraviolet, infrared. Well, someday, and I won't be here, you can be sure of that, I don't want to be here, they will be able to have instruments that read your thoughts. Why? They're just a higher vibration rate. It's not weird. The mind is not something weird. It's just a very high vibration rate in these layers of vibration rates in the universe. This layer makes mountains. This layer makes oceans. This layer makes air. This layer makes et cetera, et cetera. This layer makes subtle vibrations, which we call mind. It is the vibration rate of mind. It's not the physical plane, it's the mental plane. Does that like, ooh, it's off somewhere where the psychics live? No, it's just a higher vibration rate. Are there people, not all of them are real, but I've met real ones. Are there real psychics that see your thoughts and see your emotions and feel them, pick up on your, what do you pick it? He's got bad vibes. Can you pick up on somebody's vibrations? Okay, they're real. They're just subtle. So some people have an ability, innate ability that for whatever reason, they can pick up on this very subtle vibration rates. Fine. I just want to lay the groundwork. None of it's weird. How do I tell you this? I don't want to tell you this. I've been talking lately about things I want to tell you. There was a saint in India. Yoga builds real saints, enlightened people. We do arti to Sai Baba. That's Sai Baba Shirdi. These are in the 1800s, early 1900s. Very, very great saints. There's another Sai Baba. Satya Sai Baba was his name. All right. He's more recent. He just died some years ago. He had the power of manifestation. He did it in front of everybody. Hundreds of thousands of people in India would come together. And I knew many people that went over there and saw with their own eyes. Well, what do you mean, the power of manifestation? He would stick his hand inside of an empty vase. It was just empty, just a vase, okay, upside down, empty vase. He'd put his hand in there and do this. And ash would come flying out like a tornado, like a hurricane. Pounds of it pouring out there. Where did that come from? He slowed down the vibration of a higher plane with whatever power he had to do so and did that. There are people who say that he manifested a wedding ring for them. He just put his hand like that with nothing in a bowl and boom, a wedding ring came out. Now, you think that's weird. I don't think it's weird at all. You know what he used to say? I give you what you want, miracles, so you give me what I want, your ego. I'm just telling you, that's not magic. There is the ability for the Shakti, for the energy, but we'll get there in a minute, all right? That someone can change the vibration rate, just like you change vibes, all right? Be in love. Have somebody walk into your house and it's just, oh my God, I get blown away. Then have somebody say something you don't want to hear and it gets dark. Yes or no? Can the vibes change? Do you feel them? Answer me. Is that weird? No, it's real. You have the ability to feel higher vibration rates. There used to be, back when I wrote The Search for Truth back in the 70s, there were people who studied what was called Kirlian photography. They had instruments that could pick up the subtle vibrations, and they would show them as auras or whatever the heck it is. Most people don't believe a word of it. I don't care whether it's true or not. I know it can be true. I know that you picked them up, so why can't the machine pick them up? There's a story, Muktananda Baba. We actually got to meet him. He passed a long time ago. They wanted to do Kirlian photography of an enlightened master. There are pictures out there, I haven't bothered to find them again, that they did it, and they said the Guru's feet are holy. They did it of Muktananda's foot, all right? Flames of light coming off of his toes, turning into blue, going all the way out there. That's what his aura looked like. He was an enlightened master. Okay, what was the purpose of me telling you this stuff? I told you once, here's where I am with that stuff. If someone came here, used to be a lot of gurus would come through here, right, back in the 70s. Somebody came here and they said, I want you to see what I can do. Okay. When you come outside and here's a guy doing mantras, waves his hand, and a star goes shooting across the sky in exactly the direction he shot his hand. Whoa. Then he goes, boom, waves his hand another way. Star goes shooting across there. Every time he waved his hand, exactly where he waved his hand, what would be your reaction? Okay? I know what my reaction would be. The stars are where they belong. Stop it. That would be my attitude. How about yours? You see, because I don't think anything's not possible. Because I understand it's all just vibration rates. So you get to the point where you understand that there are higher vibration rates, way higher than the electromagnetic spectrum. You, humankind, have not been able to pick those up yet. You do. Have you ever picked up somebody's thoughts? You ever been sitting in a car, you haven't thought about something for a long time, and all of a sudden you think of something, and you say it, and that person says it at the exact moment you say it. They say that person's name you haven't talked about for 4 years. Of course you have. Have you ever had a phone ring and know who it is? You're picking up, but he's in France. It doesn't matter. Just like light travels at high speeds, the vibration rates are very, very high speed. It has nothing to do with time or distance or anything like that. It's so funny. I'm not asking you to believe. I'm just saying, do you believe in water? Do you believe in ice? Do you believe in steam? Do you believe in X-ray that can go through different things, all right? It has nothing to do with beliefs. It just has to do, do you understand? There can be higher vibration rates. Why would the highest vibration you know anything about be what the scientists have found so far? They keep finding higher ones. That's all. So I don't like belief. It's just an understanding. There's a line in the, I don't read the Bible, but there's a line in the Bible I'll never forget that says, in my Father's house are many mansions. He's talking about what I'm talking about. In the creation of the divine, the Father, there are all these different vibration rates. There are different planes. I've just been talking about your mind. We're way past that, but I don't want to talk about it. There are planes of reality. They're not weird. They're just different vibration rates. At every single plane of the vibration rate, things can manifest. How do you know? How do you know there's planes that people can't pick up? You listen to them every day of your life. Anybody talking in there? Do you have thoughts? Point to it. I want to see it. How do you know you have thoughts? These are deep spiritual questions because I'm in here. What is a thought? It is a form that is created out of the mental plane's vibration rate. It's vibrating very subtle, and just as atoms can come together to make rocks or water or this or that, or scientists can make lasers, very high vibration things, there's high vibration plane, not weird, I showed you, it's high vibration plane, and it can make things. It can make what's called thought forms. They're thought forms. Do you have them? Do they pop up in your mind? Does anything ever pop into your mind? Have you ever tried to get anything out of your mind you couldn't? Where is it? Show it to me. Does it exist? No, it doesn't exist. Of course it exists. What if a scientist comes into a very serious scientist? Here's the electromagnetic spectrum. Show me a thought. You just laugh at him. You don't have thoughts. No, you're making this up. With what? They're figments of your imagination. Where's that? There's something going on in there, isn't there? There is obviously something going on in there, talking up a darn storm. Do you have emotions? Show them to me. These are vibration rates. How come you can pick up on the vibration rates that the CERN laboratories that are picking up the subtlest vibration it can be? How come you pick them up without even trying? Because you're the self. The consciousness is the highest. Okay. Is there a highest vibration that everything slows down from? Yes. Tag, you're it. Your consciousness, your awareness of being is aware of the thought plane, is aware of the emotion plane, is aware of the physical plane. To be aware of the physical plane, you need to have physical senses that can pick up the vibration rates of the physical plane. To be aware of the mental plane, you wish you didn't have to. You understand that? It's just right there in your face. Your mental plane, your thought forms, your thought vibrations are way closer to you, to consciousness, than your emotions or your physical. You have to look through your thoughts and through your emotions to see your physical or to see somebody else. How do I know? Because you can't do it without the thoughts popping up in there. Oh, she looks like my sister. She's not your sister. It's just form that you're picking up, but that's not what happens, is it? The thoughts get stimulated and they start dancing around in there. The emotions get stimulated and you look through your thoughts and your emotions to look out through your eyes. You are the consciousness that is the highest vibration rate. All of it came from you. That's why they say man was created in the image of God. What is in there is what created all vibrations. Now we're going to talk about why it doesn't seem like that. First of all, you have the foundation. It's all physics. They call it metaphysics. No, it's just physics. It's physics they haven't figured out yet because the vibration's too high. If they tell you that they know your brain is your thoughts because they have figured out which part of the mass of the brain that if you have emotions, they pop up there, right? That's the result of the vibrations. That's because you're having higher vibrations rate. They're coming down and they show up in that part of the brain. Okay, or things come in from outside and then it picks those up, those vibrations, and that causes the mental plane to vibrate. You don't know if you want to hear about this. You pick up things from outside. They come in through your senses. They are vibration rates. Like the snake doesn't go in there. He stays out there, but the vibe comes in and it passes up your nervous system and it manifests in the brain, makes the vibration in the brain. That vibration, that subtle vibration, they're measuring with their MRIs and their CTs, whatever it is, that subtle vibration doesn't stop when they measure it. It's subtle and it comes up and that vibration is transferred into the mental vibration plane and it creates thoughts. You have thoughts. That's where they come from. You have thoughts that are stimulated to the outside world coming in, and you have thoughts that you just have inside and they mess up. Your body can get tensed up. Do you understand? It's not weird. To a yogi, it's just the so simple thing in the whole world. Okay, where do your thoughts come from? Well, they're in the mental plane, and they're rather prolific, are they not? Got a fair amount of them? That's funny. Okay, can you stop them? Not usually. Well, why are they there? What is that? Why are there thoughts? There are thoughts. If you trace it back, you're going to find out that the vast majority of your thoughts are about you. I know you don't like to think like that. The vast majority of your thoughts is my car, my house, my baby, my nose, my body, my emotions, my heart, my thoughts. That I, me, mine kind of shows up a fair amount in there, doesn't it? Okay? Because what has happened is the consciousness, which is who you are, the witness, the consciousness, is the highest vibration. It picks up whatever's vibrating on the mental plane. And what happens, and this is the deepest teaching you can know about the mind, those vibrations get strong enough. You identify with them. You don't identify with yourself sitting back here watching them. That's witness consciousness. You have to try and struggle to do that. That I'm in here, I notice my thoughts. That, good, I'm glad you do. Do you notice where they come from? Can you do anything about it? Don't worry about it. At least you notice them. Most people don't notice their thoughts. They think they are their thoughts. They will argue for day and night. I am my thoughts. I am my mind. I am my brain. I am what I think. And no, you're not. You're the one who notices that there's thoughts. Is that complicated? Is that too hard? Are you not noticing them? You're noticing your thoughts. And those thoughts, some of them are very strong, right? If you stub your toe or if you get hurt in your physical body, the vibration comes inside and you end up with a traumatic experience in your thoughts. It causes a vibration inside your mental plane that doesn't go away. Why? Because you hold on to it. The consciousness gets distracted. That's a key word. It gets so distracted by what it's looking at that it thinks it's what it's looking at. It thinks it's it. It identifies so entirely with that thought, with that feeling, with that emotion, whatever it is, that it doesn't have to think about it. It just gets sucked into it, and it walks around its entire life. Think, this is who I am. The person I had this terrible experience when I was young. Somebody yelled at me in school, and I got so embarrassed. I've always been, I. No, you experience the experience. The consciousness experienced the experience, but it didn't let it go. So it formed a thought form within the mind that it held on to. It got distracted so much that it kept this energy. The energy, the higher vibration of energy, controls the lower. So it's holding on to this. Buddhists call it clinging. It's holding on to that thought form. Do you have thoughts in your mind from your past that will never happen again, but they still bother you? How can that be going on? The event happened a long time ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Why is it still in your mind? Because you held it there. It distracted you sufficiently to where you didn't let it go. I don't know what to tell you. You didn't let it go. I can't handle the way you talk to me. I will never forgive you. You'll be so sorry for the rest of your life that you hurt me like this. Okay, walk around like that for the rest of your life. It's not happening anymore. The person's been dead for 10 years, but it's still in your mind. How has that happened? It's not on the physical plane, okay? Because you, the self, the indwelling consciousness, has the power, the Shakti, the force to hold on to a thought form. It's natural that the thought form comes up. You know, like what somebody said, or like what somebody said, comes up, passes through your mind, but it doesn't pass through your mind. And so Freud talked about suppression, repression, denial. All this stuff is stuff you're doing with your mind. It's not who you are. You're not that thought. Not a single thought you ever had is you. You're the one who noticed the thought. You're the consciousness. That's what they mean by witness consciousness, mindfulness, call it whatever you want. You're aware that there's a thought. Well, now you know what the thought is and where it came from. It is a very subtle vibration race on the mental plane that creates form, and they pass through, just like waves in an ocean pass through, right? What if they don't pass through? They create dams and everybody hits them and all hell breaks loose, right? Things naturally melt into it, but they don't in you. They come into your thoughts and you hold on to them. You don't know you're holding on to them. You don't think you're using your will. It's just distracted your energy enough to create a form that doesn't go away. That's what your thoughts are. And the vast majority of them are about you. What I want, what I don't want, what I like, what I don't like, what are my goals in life. Well, you like that stuff, right? And our society doesn't know a thing. And they say, oh, if you have good goals in life, and if you're having thoughts that are about what you want to succeed and all that kind of stuff, that's good. Okay, it's fine. It's much better than being depressed. It's much better than having negative thoughts. Can you have negative thoughts? They're not fun at all, are they? They have very low vibration rates, just like ice has a lower vibration rate. I'm trying to get this through to you once and for all. It's just vibrations, and you are the experiencer of the whole thing. Am I an experiencer of the physical plane? Of course you are. If you don't have senses, you don't even know it's there. You're just picking it up, and it's passing it back to you. It all gets passed back to you. But when you get lost in your thoughts, gets lost in thought. When you get lost in thought, for such a long period of time, either it gets a long period of time, the thought stays there, or it's a strong, strong impression. It can happen for 1 second. You'll never forget the rest of your life. You see your parents die in a car accident right in front of you. You become traumatized. What does that mean? The thought does not go away. There are children who have experiences like that will never talk again because they can't bring their consciousness and their energy down enough into the physical plane to express at that level because they're caught in the thought form. So if a very intense experience takes place and comes in through your senses, and it creates a thought form in your mind, which it will create a thought form that is a vibration, everything has its nature. It will create a thought form. There's nothing wrong with thoughts. They're very useful, okay? They're part of the, it's like saying the nerves in my hand pick up something, and I don't like what they picked up, the nerves should die. No, there's nothing wrong with the nerves. They're picking something up, and you should be able to handle it. You don't kill the nerves. There's nothing wrong with the mind. The mind's primary function is to pick up the outside world so that you in there can see it, because you can't see it without the senses picking it up. That's why they're called sensors. So now it comes in, it vibrates there, and you in there see what's going on. But if it's a really strong vibration, such as the one I talked to you about, it makes an impression that pulls your consciousness, your awareness, the self, down into it so much that it brings all this energy and it holds on to that vibration. It could be for your entire life. I don't want to tell you, it could be for lifetimes, but we don't discuss that. It just brings down a thought form. It creates a thought form that you can't get rid of. And the doctors can't get rid of it. And they sit there and tell you have to learn to cope with it. That's not true. There's not a single thing that's created in your mind that can't go away. How do I know that? Because you're the one who's holding on to it. There's nothing in the mind that clings. You cling to the mind. Okay? I don't know. I met her and I love her so much. She's so beautiful. I'll never forget. I can't be without her for a single second. What is that? She's not there now. She went to work. It doesn't matter. You got this stuff going on in your mind and it affects your emotions. They're the same. Mind, emotion, just different vibration rates. Do they tend to move together? Your thoughts and your vibrations? There you go. They're passing the energy back. Oh, please understand once in your life, this is your liberation. This is your way out to understand the truth. So yes, thoughts create vibrations and they get stuck in there, and then those vibrations affect the heart's vibration. It's just different planes of reality passing their shakti, their chitti, between each other. In yoga, there's a word called chitti. Those are the vibrations in the mind. Just like we now know that the quantum field vibrations are vibrations in a quantum field, there are these vibrations at the mental level, and they basically create thought forms. That's what you make them out of. But you pay attention. Your consciousness is the highest force in the universe. You get distracted. I don't want to say you focus because that's a willful act. You get distracted. Can consciousness pay attention to one thing and not another, and then another? Can it shift its attention everywhere? Of course it can. Well, you just took all the attention of your awareness and focused it on this terrible or beautiful, doesn't matter, incident. She was beautiful. Oh my God, what happened? Same thing. It was just so strong that it distracted your consciousness down to it, and you can't let it go. I can't wait to see her again. Tonight won't be like any other night. Right? Just vibrations in the mind. Some of them are much more pleasant than others, no question. That's not the point. They're temporary. Just like waves in an ocean. They go away by themselves. Don't go in there and try to make them go away. You'll make more of them. It's the same thing with your mind. So the vibrations come in and they pass through, unless they don't pass through. Why don't they pass through? Because you hold on to them. You, the indwelling consciousness, fixate on it. You get distracted by it and fixated on it. So now imagine now you have this beautiful mind, empty. We were talking about empty mind. Let's be spiritual. Empty mind. What does that mean? It's basically a computer that's the fastest, finest quantum computer that ever lived. If it's not programmed, doesn't do anything. It's not stupid. Its potential is incomprehensible. You understand that? But it hasn't been programmed to do something. That's what empty mind is. It's the most brilliant vibration, one of the most brilliant, other than self, it's the most brilliant vibration in the universe. It's empty. Nobody's causing vibrations in there. You can cause them anytime you want, okay? But nobody is. That's the Buddhist empty mind. And that's why Ramakrishna said the purified mind is no different than the self. Just like when you look in a lake that's crystal clear with no disturbances, you see your reflection, don't you? Now go in there, throw a leaf or a rock in there and see what you look like. He's saying, because he was there all the time, that if the mind is still purified, and I'll see what we'll call it purified in a minute. If the mind is still and not creating vibrations, you see the reflection of yourself. That's why the purified mind is no different than the self. They're just that close to each other. Ultimately, they blend and merge together. The great masters went way beyond. Some of them had trouble coming back. I don't want to tell you that because you'll be afraid. Don't worry. I don't have to worry. You won't get there. Not in the next 1,000 lifetimes. Ramakrishna was that way. He'd go into samadhi, in these great mindless state, emptiness, gone completely. He had to eat. Come on, maybe you need food. The disciples would go to him. They would start whispering the name of God in his ear, like going fishing, to try and catch enough consciousness to bring it back. Don't worry. You won't go there. But as far as me, why? It's the truth. That's who you are. You are that great. But what happens is your consciousness gets distracted. Consciousness, self, God, gets distracted by a particular thought or a particular emotion. And then you marry it, you get involved with it, and then you think it's you. I'm the one who played Dorothy in the 5th grade. You are not. That's an experience you in there had, and it's been over for 40 years. But you defined yourself by the experience you had. You held on to certain experiences that hurt you or that you really liked. Hold on to all of them. The white lines on the road go right by. The trees you drive by go right by. But these experiences, you held on to them. They distracted you enough. People clapped when you were in 5th grade about how good you played Dorothy, right? Or your first boyfriend left you and hurt your heart and you'll never love again. They left these impressions and you held on to them, okay? There is no superglue in there. Not in your emotion field or in your mental plane. There is nothing holding on. I tell you, psychiatry would shoot me. There is nothing holding on to your entire psyche, the entire ego, the entire self-concept, your entire put-together fake self that took the pieces you liked from column A and column B and put them all together and held on to them. Say, hi, this is me. Hi. My favorite one, this one. Don't leave me. No, I need you. Don't leave me. Tell me how you want me to be. Just tell me what to be. I can be anyone you want me to be. Oh, that is so cute. What's that telling you? I made the thing up. You want to see a different one? I'll give you a different one. Ever done it? Paying attention? I'm trying to teach you something. It's deep. The only reason you built that self-concept in there is because other things bothered you or turned you on and you started building, I'm the one who likes this, I'm the one who doesn't like this. I know that because I had those experiences. And I don't ever want the thing I don't like to happen again, and I want that to happen again that I did like. And now you built this whole thing in there. It's really funny. Once you get out, it's hilarious. It's left your head off. What are you doing? Somebody wants to ask Yogananda, great enlightened master, what is the ego? People write treatises, books on the ego. Not him. The ego is the masquerading self. In other words, you're in there, the self, your being, your truth, your essence, and you pull this stuff around you to protect yourself. I don't like what he said. I don't want to again. You pull all these things and you put a mask on made out of those experiences and said, hi, this is me. Ever feel insecure that people reject you or that you might not be liked or anything like that? That's your ego. That's what ego is. It's the mash you pull together, right? And it can change in a minute, can't it? Bam! Somebody says one thing. I never thought you would say something like that to me. I can't believe it. There, now it's a totally different mask. All right, that's what the mental plane is. It is an empty field of mind, a field of mind that you filled. The vibrations came in, they passed through. You experienced them. They have to pass up to you. Just like if stuff doesn't get picked up by your sensory system, eye, nose, taste, you don't know it's there. So the same thing with the mental plane. It comes up here, and its primary, most fundamental function is to vibrate at that plane to where the self can see what came in from outside. That's wonderful. It's very nice. You don't have to pay attention to it, but sometimes you do have to pay attention to it because it catches your attention. It catches your awareness. It sucks you down into it, and you can't let go. And then you start building this whole house. You collected did you not collect every single thing that ever bothered you inside and decide you don't want it to happen again and make every decision for the rest of your life to make sure it doesn't happen again? Why? Because you made this vibration rate and you held on to it within your mind, and you have a whole bunch of them and they hit each other. How do you try making decisions? Of course you do. The color red once turned you on. Now it turns you off. Now do you want to go with something that's red or not? I don't know. I'll decide tomorrow. Okay, I want to go with the red. No, I don't think I should. It's hilarious. You're trying to put this whole mesh together of your whole life, and you have all these patterns in there. You're trying to make them behave. Psychology teaches you that. Freud said that the ego, you have a superego. What's that? Let's just get down to it. This is science, psychology science, a superego. The world has set impressions on your mind that said, you should not have done that. I can't believe you did that. You're a terrible person. Or, oh, I can't believe you were so kind. It was so wonderful. Look how you were so kind to somebody else, right? That got stuck in a part of your mind that he called the superego. Society programmed. It's bad enough you did it. Your mommy did it, your daddy did it, your preacher did it, your rabbi did it. They made impressions on the mind that were based on value judgments of what's good and what's bad and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Okay? And then he said, you have the id. What's the id? It's also simple once you pay attention. What's the id? Do you have a body? Is the body an animal? Does it have different drives? Hunger, sex, this, that, everything. Does it have different fundamental, functional, foundational drives? Don't let them tell you you're not an animal. You're not an animal, but your body is. A very evolved one, but it's an animal. Get scared to death. You'll behave just like the rest of the animals and run away. It is a biological force. How do you know it's there? How does the consciousness know that those vibrations are happening? The same way. It has to pass them up your nervous system and your emotional system, and then you get experienced by them. And Freud said that's the id, those primal drives. So the drive itself is real, but it gets into your mind. Oh my God, I want to eat. I have to get this. I want to have a nicer house. I want this. I want to have sex. I want to do this. I want to do that. Right? It's like, or even I want to have a family. I don't care what you call the primal drives. You understand that? You know that I know people that are very serious about their growth and stuff, and they found out, no, I want to have a baby. Right? Well, fine, have a baby. No, I need to leave. I need to get involved with a relationship. I want to have a baby, but I don't have a relationship. I better go find a relationship. These are drives that are pushing you, but they have a primal base, the drive for motherhood or something. Nobody's denying any of this stuff. It's all real. Well, Freud labeled that as the id, not the superego. Superego is society programming that part of your mind. The id is the body programming that part of your mind. And we said the ego was what stands between the two and tries to make peace. You build your self-concept. Yeah, they said I shouldn't do this, right? But it's okay, and rationalize that because I have this drive. Then next thing you know, build something in there, good luck, that's able to get along with everything else. Freud himself said that's what the ego is, all right? And then you identify with that as you. I'm the one who's trying to hold all this together. No, you're not. You're the consciousness that is experiencing this entire mess that's going on in there. And it is a mess. It's just vibration rates that don't quiet down. And you held on, and you held on, and then they hit each other. That's why it's like that in there. And you know what your solution is? If you're a normal human being, you know how you try to solve it? By manipulating the outside world so that when it comes into your mind, it feels comfortable. Good luck. Because you know, there's junk in there, right? Have you ever noticed that you get what you want, and the next thing you know, you want something else? Or it doesn't turn out the way you thought it would be? It's like it's such a mess in there of all these patterns that you held on to. Anybody ever get defensive? Anybody know what the word defensive means? Can somebody look at you the wrong way? And that's this whole mishmash you built in there being challenged. You're not who you think you are. You say you're a good musician. I've heard way better musicians than you. You're terrible. I can't believe you. Oh my God. That's not true. What do you care what somebody says? There's a noise from out there coming in, hitting the mental plane. Fine, who cares? You care because you tried to build a house in there, didn't you? And you try to live in there and be okay. Never. As our Buddha said, all of life is suffering. You're not going to be okay in there till it gets quiet or till you stop building this whole mess inside your head that the outside world has to match for you to be okay. There are people who sit there and say, I'll be okay if everything's the way I want it to be. Okay, first of all, that's not true, but you don't even know what you want because it's so complicated in there. But what kind of statement is that? I'll be okay if it doesn't rain tomorrow. I'll be okay if it doesn't rain on my birthday. The outside world has nothing to do with your birthday or anything like that. What you're doing is making a complete mess. Now we're talking about mind. You make a complete mess out of all of reality because you can't handle reality because you built this stuff inside your mind. All right, now, I use the word mind. I mean a little more for you know? Is a plane of vibrations in which the consciousness started clinging and holding on to these thought forms that were meant to pass through. Well, how can something pass through it? Let's say somebody you love dies. Let's get real. Somebody I love with all my heart dies, right? How am I supposed to let it pass through? It's going to create vibrations in the heart. The energy shifts. It shifted. It wasn't the same. You used to interact with this person a certain way. Now not there anymore. It's going to go through a shift. That's normal. It's understandable. But the trouble is you can't handle it. You don't want it to happen. You don't want to feel the loss. And so you push it away. You suppress it. There are people who suppress. I had a divorce 15 years ago. He's still in there. I don't like to hear his name. Don't you bring him in this house. You didn't let it go. It's natural that you go through vibrations, but you don't cling to them. They come and they have to express themselves in a natural way. Then you're a healthy person. A healthy person doesn't laugh because someone they love died. No, you feel the emotion of the shift in energy patterns that took place. You used to interact with the person, not there anymore. You're going to feel the shift, but it passes through. It's not permanent. It's not, I'll never love again. I was the sole love of my life. I don't want to meet anybody else. I should stay alone from now on because I'm going to be loyal to that. You're caught. You understand that? You're caught in thought forms. So everything will naturally pass through if you let it, but you won't. So what you do instead is try to manipulate and control the outside world so that when it comes in, it doesn't disturb this thing you built inside your mind. Can you relate to that? Do you understand that? That's what your preferences are, your hopes, dreams. I'm a terrible teacher. I've never heard another teacher who talks against hopes and dreams. I'm not talking against them. They're wonderful things. If your choice is to get depressed and have no hope and no dreams, for God's sakes, have hopes and dreams, right? If you catch on and understand what your hopes and dreams are patterns inside your mind. How'd you decide what you hope? I hope I get what I want. I dream that someday it will be the way I want it to be. I have this dream. Okay, fine, wonderful. How'd you decide how you want it to be? She doesn't agree. She looks like she's in a relation with you. She doesn't agree with you. She says she is. She likes you, right? Nobody's the same. They all had different experiences. Everybody had totally different experiences. Don't you dare think they're the same as you. Not even close. What they held in their mind was from childhood all the way through. All the strong impressions of positive and negative got stuck in their mind, and they held on to them. They built an ego. But now they want you to like you, so they act a certain way. Ever have somebody disappoint you? Have you ever had somebody that you said, I couldn't believe you did that. I never thought you would ever do that. Of course you have. And the truth of the matter is, of course you wouldn't have done it. You didn't have the experiences they did. Now you're starting to wake up spiritually. That's true spirituality. When you understand your mind, you understand everybody else's. But if you think your mind is you and you're right and your experiences are special, you're special. They're just vibrations in the universe passing through. Hello, you won't be here for long, don't worry. There's nothing special. Why do you want to be special? Because I have insecurity and I'm lost. And when I was young, they yelled at me. So now if people like me, I feel much better. It's all mind. It's just mind. It's the vibrations of mind. Just like your vibrations of body. They can hurt. They can feel good. You can exercise and do good. Your mind. Food can make you feel good or bad. The mind runs it all. The stuff you built in there. And it's so strong, isn't it? That's some strong stuff in there, your ego. And most people are taught, you want to be okay, impress people, do good, be strong, just get in there to that mind and manipulate everything and everybody so that you're okay. Because what matters is I did it my way. I made it through. Right? Spirituality, now that we have a foundation, sorry it took so long, spirituality is, oh my God, that's actually going on in there. Exactly like he said it was. Yep, he hit the nail on the head. Does that get you out? No, because you're going to get pulled right back in. So what gets you out? To stop being distracted by the thoughts in your mind. Mean to not have thoughts? No. You have thoughts, you do math, you do things, you think, you create music. You do all kinds of beautiful things with your mind. It's as good as the finest computer was ever made. It can play music, can it? Can it sing songs to you? Can it do math? Can it create music? Can it paint? Can it do art? What can the mind do? Anything. Microsoft, where do you want to go today? You can do anything. What have you done with it? Made a flaming mess. Hold on to stuff I didn't like. And then why would you hold on to something you didn't like? If you don't like it, don't hold on to it. I don't know how not to. It made an impression and it bothers me. And so I held on to it. I don't want it to happen again. And I structured my whole life around that. Okay? What's the way out? Yes, you can work with your mind. I feel sorry for you if you think you need to stop your mind and make it be quiet. That's like saying a leaf fell into the lake. I'm going to make it not make ripples. I don't think so. I think anything you do makes more ripples. All right? Well, okay, so it really wasn't about the ripples in the lake. It was about something falling into the lake. Do things fall into lakes? So is the answer to make sure nothing, catch everything before it falls into the lake? No, absolutely not. Is it to make it not make ripples? No. Is it to be just as comfortable when something falls in and it creates ripples and you don't have to touch it or do anything about it? It's just the natural way of things that stuff falls, makes ripples. What happens to the ripples? They go away. Not if you play with them, they don't. Not if you don't want them to be there and you suppress them and hold on to them and jump in there and try to make it. You're saying that. Now you get real deep Zen teachings, all right? If you are able to handle reality, and vibrations are part of reality, you don't have to do anything about it. It's not about doership or non-doership. It's about existing in the presence of whatever's happening outside, inside, and you're at peace, you're calm, you're not distracted, you're not making these major big deals out of things. It's all passing through, but does create vibrations. It does create emotions. So what? They asked Ramakrishna once, does an enlightened being ever feel anger? I was shocked to read his answer. Yes, but it's like writing on water. Go read it. Read it. Write on the water and read it. It's gone. Any impression it makes is gone in a moment. That's what it's like to live a whole life. It's not that there are no impressions. They just pass through. Why? Because you're not holding on to them. The only thing that's a mess in your mind is that you got lost in there. When you step back, you see it for what it is. Oh my God, it's just an ocean of vibrations. It's okay. Somebody says something, it comes in, it feels weird. I can handle it. That's okay. I don't mind weird. I like weird. I like everything. When you like everything, you don't have to hold on to it. You don't get distracted by it. Here, you're into cars, and it's Ferraris, and she's into Teslas or AVs, all right? So a beautiful Ferrari drives by, your head turns, you talk about it, it left an impression on you. Tesla drives by, don't even notice, right? And she's that way about the Tesla from the Ferrari. The key is not did somebody drive by. The key is, did you get distracted by it sufficiently to identify with the thing? It's just all form passing through. And so the great ones are able to let everything happen. Everything passes through, emotions, mind. It does what it needs to do, but you're not suppressing it. You're not resisting it. You're not clinging to it. You just let it, Beatles, let it be. Singing words of wisdom. But you can't do that, can you? So you go out and manipulate everything so that, let it be, so that it be what you want it to be, right? You talk to me and treat me the way I want to be treated and wear what I want you to wear, okay? And then you try to be okay that way. So do you understand mind a little bit better now? It's a joke. You get to a point, you look at it, you just laugh. Look at you. Look at you caring what other people think. And do any of you, listen to me, I'm going to stop. It's hard for me to stop, okay? Do any of you ever think what you think somebody else is thinking about what you said? It's kind of funny, isn't it? You know what you're really saying? What would I be thinking with the chunk I built in my mind if I had said it, but I was them being, I don't know, it's just too complicated, all right? And you're wasting your time getting upset, and the mind gets upset, doesn't it? And then the heart gets upset. I'm having a hard time at what? What I think he thought I was saying. What if he misunderstood what I was saying? What if he told other people what he misunderstood I was saying? I need to go on the website and go to Facebook and tell everybody I didn't mean that. You're going to find out that he didn't even know what you said. It's just all going inside your head. The vast majority of everything you're worrying about will never happen. Okay. So what's the answer? Learn to stop being distracted by the vibrations passing through your mind. Well, that's pretty tough. There's serious stuff in there. I always tell you, start with the simple things. Start with the weather. Can you handle the weather? It's just something that comes and goes. It's your perfect guru. It comes and it goes, and it has no meaning other than what you give it to it. And so you let go. The car in front of you is putting brakes on, doesn't use his blinker, he's driving 50 miles below the speed limit. Can you not be distracted by what is going on that is none of your business? And you start letting go. You can still be distracted by the work that was given to you at work. Pay attention, come down, do your best. It's really very simple. All right? But now do you understand mind? Answer me. Do you understand mind better? You see what it is? It's just a field of vibrations that nobody knows anything about, and they make a mess of it. Okay. Chakra.
You've been listening to the Michael Singer Podcast, produced by Sounds True in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information on Michael's body of work and all back episodes, please join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening. Sounds True, waking up the world.